before I break anything down about his target, what's going on in Berlin, and why on earth I'm still very bullish for Tesla, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in its description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, out of these 12 free stocks, one of them could be a free Apple share. It's a limited time offer. Check out the offer before it ends in just 2 weeks. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So over the last year or so, we've seen Tesla drop quite a bit, and this is because the overall market is taking a bit of a hit after everything that has been going on with the Fed, the markets, and so on and so forth. But over the last couple of years, if you actually zoom out, you can still see that Tesla has made absolutely amazing steps in the right direction, and this thing has been pushing up, and it still is respecting an upward trend. Now, the thing about this thing pushing up is Tesla, in my opinion, is still in its growth phase, so we are going to see immense growth in this stage. And investing in Tesla, in my opinion, is similar to investing in Amazon during its earlier days, not when it's fully grown, when it's much, much, much larger. Tesla still has incredible growth coming, in my honest opinion, and not just the growth that's coming is going to make Tesla big, but how they're growing. And that's exactly some of the things that this major Wall Street analyst was talking about. So if we go down here, right here, we can see that this man, his name is actually right over here, Pierre Ferragu, and he actually talked about something very important. He visited the Gigafactory in Berlin, and he was talking about the fact that we're seeing extreme demand for Teslas over there, and they actually have a very good integrated system within that factory. They have a separate logistics center right over there, which makes things a lot easier by their docking stations, and on top of that, they have very, very good manufacturing chains right there as well. I'm going to go into more detail about the manufacturing part in a few minutes, but I want to talk about his price targets for Tesla. If you look right over here, his short-term price target, which represents about a year or two, you can see Tesla going to $530 a share, which is actually amazing in itself. But for the long term, and this is what he talked about, he mentioned that if Tesla were to continue to grow the way it is, if they actually produce 20 million cars per year by 2030, he could see it being worth over $10 trillion. Now, if you look at Tesla's market cap, right now, Tesla's worth hundreds of billions, and Tesla also has a little over 3 billion shares outstanding. They used to have 1 billion, but after the 3-for-1 split, it's now about 3 billion. So $10 trillion divided by a little over 3 billion shares gives you over $3,000 in the share price. So he believes Tesla could go to over $3,000 by 2030, and I honestly agree with that. In fact, where I do disagree with him, however, would be his rationalization behind that, because he is talking about the gigafactories being such a big factor to really cause that. And I do agree with that, but that's not the only factor. You have to factor in other big things out there as well, such as Tesla Energy, Tesla's humanoid robots, their AI, and other factors like that. I didn't really hear him mention those, but I still don't disagree with his target. I could really see Tesla hitting these high numbers. So what was so amazing about what he saw in Berlin, and this is where I want to actually talk about the improvements being made to Tesla. So if we take a quick look at the general assembly lane right over here, you could see that each and every single one of the cars starts off from the same end, and they're actually pushed through it to work on the body parts. And that's where they actually have a new cast system. So with the cast system, they're actually using less parts, and they're able to produce the same output a lot quicker. Then on top of that, they have the stamping, the casting part over there that puts all the casts together. And then after that, they paint it, they put all the parts together, and it happens super, super fast and lightning speed. So during the Fremont Gigafactory's times, when it was actually just starting, they had all of these different subsectors in different areas, and it was very crazy for them. It really slowed them down. That's something Elon Musk described. And they had to make a lot of improvements to the Fremont Gigafactory. So what I find so amazing and interesting about this is the fact that Tesla is a company that has so much cash at hand. Tesla's notorious for this. So they could use all of this cash to develop more and more projects like this and learn from their mistakes even more. Now, on top of that, if you actually look at the way the Gigafactory works, it's absolutely massive. They have so many different sectors that they could actually work on right over there. They could even work on the big semis. They could work on so many things at once. And on top of that, there's actually a lot of demand in Europe, particularly in Germany as well. So it's very, very cool, especially as they're working on battery cells. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Now, when it comes to the actual specs of their production, I think it appears right over here. They're capable of producing one car body every 45 seconds or more than 600,000 per year. So that's brilliant in my opinion. It's going to really help them reach those goals. And if you break down the numbers, you could see it's actually estimated that they could actually produce above 600,000 if they actually see a big expansion to come. And it could go as high as 700,000 if they have 24/7 operations for the round year. So in essence, that's 80 cars per hour, 13,000 per week, 57,000 per month, and close to 700,000 per year max as of right now. And on top of that, they're working in a system where they want to actually expand the Gigafactory even more. So they might acquire more land adjacent to the Gigafactory itself in Germany. So once again, absolutely brilliant. Makes me super bullish. But what makes me so bullish about this is the fact that if they want to meet those goals of 20 million cars to be produced every single year by 2030, they're going to have to build more gigafactories like this. And I believe, this is my belief in Tesla, every single gigafactory that comes out is going to show improvements over and over again. And I really believe that the next one over the next couple of years that's coming out, it's going to be even better than the one in Germany. I really believe that's possible. And this will really increase the odds of Tesla meeting their goals for the year 2030 and many years and beyond. Many people may think it's crazy, they may think it's out of the ordinary, but let me actually show you why on earth that's very much possible. So looking back at some of the things that the analyst was talking about, he was mesmerized. He was impressed by what he was actually seeing. He was seeing so much efficiency in such a short period of time. And when I really believe that as time goes on, we're going to see more gigafactories like this and even more efficient ones than this one. That's how crazy it may sound to people, but I really believe it's possible. So he was also talking about the fact that many different subsectors were working together in unison in a way that's so efficient and so intelligent that it really, really blew him away. And on top of that, we're seeing them really working in a way to put the 4680 casting structural battery packs together in such a fast way. So he was super, super impressed with that as well. So with that said, all the components coming together made him even more impressed, and that's the reason why he believes he could see Tesla at a $10 trillion market cap by 2030. Now, my honest view of that is that's very possible, and in comparison to that, you have to compare that to Apple's current valuation, which is actually, that would actually put Tesla at 4 times the valuation at where Apple is right now. Now, is that possible? Of course it is, and I want to tell you guys exactly why. Well, Apple actually reached $3 trillion in market cap less than a year ago. And that's incredible. That's insane. And my point is to say that Tesla will be, just 3 times the size by the end of the decade, that does not seem like that big of a stretch, seeing the growth that they are not just projected to show, but the growth that they're very capable of, in my honest opinion. So with that said, the 10 trillion mark, if you account for inflation and additional factors like that, I could very much see that happening in the reality of the situation. And on top of that, what I'm essentially seeing is as the growth continues, this will bring more investors all over the world to continue to buy into Tesla. So what Tesla is now working on is developing more gigafactories, announcing more of them. And I really think they're going to help cut lots of expenditures in the process as well. There has been some talk about them maybe opening a gigafactory in Canada where they see lots of graphite mines around there. Lots of graphite is actually mined around certain parts of Canada and Quebec. So Tesla is very interested in that. That could help them save a lot of money on the travel costs for commodities. And that could actually make them even more efficient and save lots and lots of money. So additionally, I do see more Teslas coming out, and as more are built, the prices could start to go down in the future, even if you account for inflation. So all these different factors could really help the share price boom, and just talking about deliveries alone makes this possible. So imagine if we account for AI, we account for the potential Cybertruck coming out and a bunch of different things.